only 3 more weeks. Yeah, so I am from the Netherlands, as you can see there. For 3 more weeks, I did my bachelor and my master's in nutrition and dietetics in those in those small towns in the Netherlands, and then I did my PhD in Groningen, in the northern part of the Netherlands. But I just finished it in May. I defended it, and now I will start a postdoc in Bristol, UK, soon, in the field of epigenetic epidemiology. So I'm very happy to show you that I finished my PhD and that I defended it successfully. So this is the book that I distributed to so many people. It was entitled The First 1,000 Days and Beyond, From Early Life Environment to Epigenetics and Childhood Overweight. And the first 1,000 days is the timeline between conception and the second year of life. And in my thesis, I emphasized that this is a very important time period and also a very nice window of opportunity for research and hopefully also for prevention later on. So my thesis was divided in 2 parts. The first part was on DNA methylation and its role in this very early life development. And it has been touched upon already earlier in one of the previous talks as well. But I just wanted to show you the idea of DNA methylation, which is shown in this figure. So we know that the environment as well as genetic variation are important for multiple health outcomes. In this case, for my thesis, it was birth weight. But then what I was interested in is the field where these two come together, which is partly also DNA methylation. And DNA methylation is the fact that methyl groups bind to the DNA, which then could change the gene expression, and then they could that could be followed by a difference in birth weight, for example. Very shortly. So the first part was mainly, of my thesis, it was mainly focused on the role of maternal smoking during pregnancy and its very clear effect on DNA methylation. So we really see a lot of changes in the DNA methylation level in the cord blood of a lot of children. And then we also already knew that maternal smoking has an effect on it causes a lower birth weight in children. And we saw that this DNA methylation was, could partly explain this pathway. And then the second part was nothing about DNA methylation, but more on traditional epidemiology. So I looked at determinants of weight gain, skipping breakfast in very young children, very early dietary habits in toddlers. So I think, they were 2 and 6 years of age already. And we already saw that those dietary habits had an effect on their growth. And then we also looked at the association between parental physical activity and their child physical activity, which was also clearly seen. What's nice is to see that the boys are kind of associated with their father's behavior, and then the girls with their mother's behavior. So that was nice to see. Very quickly, this was in the end what I ended up with, my theoretical model. I'm not going to go into detail in everything, but I just wanted to show that the genetics are important. The maternal lifestyle during pregnancy is very important. Epigenetics is kind of a consequence of that. It's also very important. And then the child's development, their weight, and their environment. I think that's all been discussed already during this meeting. But what I just wanted to emphasize is that this very early life and this very early development is already very important. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show. So very shortly, I will follow this up later on in my postdoc. I will see how causality really works in this very specific field. And I want to focus more on the BMI and the obesity of the mother during pregnancy and how that could influence this DNA methylation. And then, of course, I really like to be here at this summer school because I think I have met a lot of very interesting people, and we had quite some good talks and some interaction with each other. So thank you for that, everybody.